Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. I am your teacher Simin Amir and today I am here again with a new lecture. I hope everything is going well with you and your family. Let's start today's lecture. This is my lecture number 18 for grade Trio and today we have a geography class. We have already started unit number 2 which is about the climate of Pakistan. In the previous lecture, we learnt about the rainfall in Pakistan and the sources of rainfall in Pakistan. I've told you that rainfall is a term used to refer to water falling in drops after condensation of the atmospheric vapors. This term is used to refer to the quantity of the precipitation falling in an area within a given period of time. Then I've told you that there are different sources of rainfall in Pakistan: the monsoon winds, the western depressions, convectional currents, rainfall, relief rainfall, and tropical cyclones. And I've told you about the monsoons, that the word monsoon means season. That's why these are seasonal winds and which blow during summer and winter. The summer winds are called southeast monsoon and the winter winds are called northeast monsoon. The southeast monsoon, which is summer monsoon, is like a giant sea breezes which bring rainfall, and the rain begins when the ocean are less heated and land is more heated. And the northeast monsoons blow from the lands towards sea. Um, in Pakistan, like Pakistan receives the tail end of the monsoon, which enter Pakistan after crossing India. They usually reach Pakistan in early July and continue till September. And then I've told you that the main monsoon enters in the northern Punjab, while the secondary is southern Punjab and Sindh, and the highest rainfall during the monsoon season is received by Murray Hills. Then I have told you about the Western depressions, and I even showed the route of these cyclones that originate in the Mediterranean Sea. So the Western depressions wind blows from the Mediterranean Sea. They are actually a cyclone that originate in the Mediterranean Sea in the winter, and after passing through Iran, Iraq, Turkey, they're crossing like Iraq, Turkey, Iraq, Iran, and then Afghanistan, and then they enter in the western area of Pakistan. When they enter in the Pakistan, most of their moisture is lost of their in their long journey, and therefore they bring a small amount of rainfall to Pakistan. In spite of this, the western part of western highlands receive more rainfall from the western depression than from other sources. So then we learned about the convectional currents. I've told you that this happens when hot air rises from the hot land into the air. This air is high in moisture and causes a lot of condensation. So this condensation results in rainfall in different areas of, especially in summers. Then in Pakistan, convectional currents, we can say it's some degree of rainfall in Pakistan during the summer months, especially, and this condensation results in rainfall in the northern and northwestern parts of Pakistan in the summer. So then I've told you about the relief rainfall, and even I showed a figure about the diagram of the relief rainfall. And relief, why we call it relief rainfall? Because it refers with the relief of the relief of the land. Like relief is the height or the shape of the land, and relief is also referred as the topography. So the rainfall is because of the topography of the area. This relief rainfall usually takes place around coastal areas where a fleet of hills runs along to the coast. I told you when wet onshore wind from the sea meet a mountain, hill and barriers, it is forced to rise along the slope and cools. When the air temperature falls to its dew point, water vapor condenses to form clouds. When the clouds can no longer hold the water droplets, relief rain begins to fall on the windward slopes of the mountain, but the leeward slope, which is the other slope of the mountain, will receive sinking, or we can say no rainfall at all, and that area is called as the rain shadow areas. Like cities like Murree and Kabul continually receives rainfall due to the its position, its location. So they are receiving many rainfall from the source of relief. But the Gilgit and Chitral, which do not receive any of the rainfall from the relief rainfall, because these or even by any source, because these areas are the rain shadow areas. Then we learned about the tropical cyclones, and I've told you that a tropical cyclone is a rapidly rotating storm system characterized by a low pressure center, strong winds, and a spiral arrangement of the thunderstorms that produce heavy rain can cause a lot of destruction. They rarely reach to the coast of Pakistan, like we can say once in a few years, but whenever they reach to Pakistan, they bring destructive rainfall to the areas of Pakistan. So these were all the about the previous lectures. So today's topic is the pressure and winds. Air lower in the atmosphere is more dense than air above. So air pressure down low is greater than air pressure higher up. What I said, that's air pressure down low in greater uh, than air pressure higher up. The greater the difference between the high and low pressure, or the shorter the distance between the high and low pressure areas, the faster the wind will blow. Simply, I'll say during the summer season, the temperature in central Punjab is high. This caused the hot air to rise up and form a low pressure zone. Again, this caused when the during summers in Pakistan, the temperature in central Pakistan, in inland of Pakistan, in the plains of Pakistan is high. Temperature is very high. This causes the hot air to rise up and form a low pressure zone. When you know that when the air is warm, when the temperature is high in the area, obviously the air will be warm. So the warm air, this is the chemistry of the warm air, that it has to rise. So when it rises up, it forms a low pressure area, or we can say the low pressure zone. At the same time, oceans and seas have comparatively uh, low temperature. So this is because water absorbs and discharges heat slowly as compared to the land. So air pressure is like actually the atmospheric pressure, and this is a downward force exerted by the air's weight per unit area on the earth's surface. Like this is, we can say, the negative relationship between pressure and altitude is totally negative. Low pressure occurs when altitude is higher. Low pressure occurs, this is about, I am talking about the air pressure. Low pressure occurs when the altitude is higher. Altitude is the height of the place. So when the altitude is higher, when we are on a height, in a heighted place, so air molecules are far apart and air becomes thinner. Air is not dense at higher altitude. Air is thinner because of less molecules of gases in the atmosphere. Then if there, when we are on a lower altitude, or we can say near the sea surface, the air pressure is very high. The air pressure occurs very high, and just because the air molecules are closely packed and air becomes denser, thicker. Why? Because of the, like, we have the atmosphere, and in atmosphere we have lots of gases, and these lots of gases are, we can say, denser at sea level and thinner at higher level, at higher altitude. And why they are denser at sea level? Because of the gravity of the earth. So we can say that these gases are denser at sea level, and there are so many gases in the atmosphere that can trap the heat. That's why the temperature is higher at sea level and lower at higher altitude. Let me tell you about the air pressure at the land and on the sea. As I said, like At the same time, the oceans and seas have comparatively low temperature. This is because water absorbs and discharges heat slowly as compared to the land, and the air pressure over the oceans and seas is higher than over the land during summer. This leads to the movement of monsoon winds from sea to land because, as I said, the air pressure over the ocean and seas is higher than over the land. So over the land there's a low pressure area, and the wind is always traveling from higher pressure to lower pressure area. So this leads to the movement of monsoon winds from sea to land, which are moisture laden, like loaded with lots of water, and bring heavy rainfall to the upper and lower Indus plain in the months of July and August. During winter, the whole situation is reversed because the pressure over the land gradually increases. So over the land, the pressure is higher, and we can say a high pressure area is created in the northwest of Pakistan. The summer monsoon gradually retreat in autumn and are replaced by the land winds blowing out from the high pressure area. So these winds are called the winter monsoon on um, uh, the winter monsoon or the northeast monsoon. So the situation is reversed in the winter as the wind blows from land towards sea because high air pressure is created on seawater, and the low pressure area, the higher air pressure is created on the land and the lower pressure area is created over the sea. So that's why the winds are blown from land towards sea in winters. The next topic is the effectiveness of rainfall, and this is on page number 37. Effective rainfall or precipitation is equal to the difference between total rainfall and actual evapotranspiration. You know what is evapotranspiration? Transpiration is like when the trees releasing water in the atmosphere. Evapotranslation is the evaporation of the water that is released by the trees. So this is like we can say the effectiveness of rainfall or precipitation is equal to the difference between total rainfall and actual evapotranspiration. The effective rainfall can be calculated directly from the climatic parameters and the usable ground reserves. During extended periods of cool, wet weather, less evaporation takes place and the smaller rainfall events may be effective precipitation. The rainfall in Pakistan is mainly from monsoon winds and western depressions. I've told you that monsoon winds are summer monsoon winds and winter monsoon winds. And the western depressions are actually the cyclones that originate in the Mediterranean Sea and coming towards Pakistan from the western side of Pakistan. The monsoon winds bring rainfall during the summer season, which is variable in amount, timing, and distribution. So, the monsoon rain is highly unreliable. It is variable in amount, timing, and distribution. So, the duration is different every year. The amount is different, and even the distribution is different. That is why the effectiveness of monsoon rainfall is of limited value to agriculture. Another factor that limits the usefulness of rainfall is high temperature conditions from June to September over the Indus plain. This leads to great degree of evapotranspiration. Monsoon rainfall comes in heavy showers, which is not very useful for the crops because the land does not absorb the rainwater. Most of the water from the monsoon rainfall drains away, causing floods in the low-lying areas, uh, as we have nowadays, especially in the Sindh area in Karachi. However, reservoirs of the dams on River Indus and its tributaries help to store extra water during the rainy season that can later be utilized in the dry season. But even um, we don't have much storage of water in Pakistan. We need more dams and more reservoirs to store extra water, especially of the monsoon season. The variable nature of monsoon rainfall also lessens its usefulness for the farmers, as crop planning is very difficult if the amount and timing of rainfall have above normal fluctuation. As I said, it's unreliable. The monsoons are unreliable in terms of like its amount, its timings, and its distribution. So everything, there's a fluctuation in duration, in the amount, in the distribution of this rainfall. Only a tiny fraction of the Potwar Plateau has canal irrigation. For the rest, it is Barani land. Barani land means the land that only depends on rainfall. Baran is a Pashto word used for rain. So Barani land means the land that only depends on rainfall. There's no irrigation system there, or no, we can say, any tapping out of water from the ground. So only a tiny fraction of the Potwar Plateau has canal irrigation. For the rest, it is Barani land because of impracticability of lifting irrigation water up to the flat plateau surface, and also of irrigating the heavily eroded badland areas. The winter rainfall is more effective for farmers because it comes in light showers that continue for several days. However, the amount of winter rainfall is not sufficient and cannot be relied upon. So again, irrigation is must for those areas also. If only occurs in a western and northern region, coastal and southern Pakistan have to depend upon monsoon rainfall. Generally, the rainfall in Pakistan is neither dependable nor enough in quantity. As a result, farming mainly depends on the irrigation system. However, in northern Punjab and Potwar Plateau being wetter than the rest of Pakistan, there are a number of rain-fed or barani farms where subsistence farming, small-scale farming, subsistence farming means small-scale farming that the farmer used to cultivate the land for own family or for own use, not for sale. So that only subsistence farming or small scale farming is practiced. It is not possible to develop canal irrigation in the plateau region just because we cannot make canals in the highland areas, and you know that the plateaus are the flat but raised highland areas. Now here is your assignment. You have to do one question from page number 49. This is question number 9, and the question is what are the advantages and disadvantages of winter rainfall in northern Pakistan? So particularly here I am asking about the rainfall in the northern Pakistan, means it is about, the question is about highland areas, the northern highlands. So you have to give your answer, and in a like in a comparison form, make a comparison, like must write advantages and disadvantages both of the rainfall of the northern mountains, but that is of winter rainfall. And you know that there are few advantages of winter rainfall in the northern areas, but there are lots of disadvantages of winter rainfall in the northern areas. So please do this work in your notebook, neat notebook, and please make a margin line. Must write today's date and day, and please maintain your index. Thank you so much, dear students, for watching this video. We'll meet up again with another video. Please stay at home, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay blessed. Thank you so much. Bye.